Peace, family. This is Chat with CVision Trading. It's Christmas Eve, December 24th. It's 8:58 a.m. Right now, we're tracking a couple different things. Definitely tracking the US dollar. It's into action this morning in Europe. There was a decision made by the Eurozone as it relates to basically interest rates and government intervention. So right now, the sterling is weakening. The euro is really at a pivotal point, and we look for the euro to break down. Actually, as it's looking like it's breaking down, we're looking at the actual seconds chart right here. And then coming over here, we're going to look at Okay. So, we really expect this needs to break down in a pretty aggressive fashion and really break down below 120, 120 to really validate what what we've what our premise was. And so, there really has been equities has kind of held up for some time. We expect a bit of what we would call a fourth wave correction. So I'm going to remove some of this Fibonacci stuff. So basically what we counted this was a 5-wave movement down. So we expected a retrace to about the 61.8, 78.6 retrace level of that movement. And around this area is the 78.6 retrace level. So you see the market found resistance, and now we dropped down. Yesterday, we actually dropped down pretty violently to close, and the S&P quiet as kept. You can see the momentum is, broke below that indicated 40 level. And this is on a 15-minute chart, and on a 1-hour chart, again, we see that we had a bearish support at 30, which is in a bearish zone, and we had a resistance level well below 65, which is indicative of bearish price action impending. So, when we have something like that, now we go to a lower time frame to get further confirmation. So, again, this 78.6 retrace level was 3707. Yesterday, around midday, we broke that resistance, but then we quickly dropped back down to around the 3702 level, almost to make somewhat of a head and shoulders here, and then we dropped down. So that is what we would expect, and we expect this 3710 top, potentially even this 3705 top to hold. And so, but everything has to be correlating. So we went over to Europe. Europe had a bit of a somewhat of a pop earlier today. This is the UK Index. We would expect that pop to eventually tame out too. And typically we can kind of go and look at a cool fib retrace level. Okay, so actually looks like we retraced just under the 78.6, so under 65.40. We got the 65.30. Okay. All right, then we drop back down. Looks like this was in 5 waves, and we'll see. As long as the 65.10 holds, it's quite permissible that we are shooting downward. Now we want to get it like a little shorter time frame just to see. Okay, we really need 65.10 to hold in this UK index. Uh, then I come over and I want to see how the Nikkei did. China is kind of okay. Well, Nikkei somewhat holding up, somewhat holding up. Mm. You know, just looking at this still, I'm not convinced. Obviously, it looks like it can go a little bit higher. I definitely think it could fill this gap. The Nikkei Index, but I don't see it piercing 26,671. Uh, this does not look impulsive at all. So we'll see. I mean, of course, the Hang Seng is just like invincible, man, seemingly. But we have seen kind of momentum wane a little bit as we've gotten to certain levels. We made lower lows. We had a RSI low here below 40. It looks like we've topped out around the 65 level. So that's indicative of some things. Now it almost looks like a head and shoulders type scenario. We're going to watch this 26,357 level and, of course, this 26,425 level in the Hang Seng. Very important. Momentum has waned off pretty aggressively intraday. I guess the market's closed now. So that was that. Okay. Just to look at the NASDAQ futures, we're talking about. Okay, yeah, extremely bearish. We're really just expecting a drop, folks. We got a lot of fundamental reasons why. So the NASDAQ futures are showing themselves rather bearish. Again, this could be some sort of triangle A, B, C, D, E. I definitely think that's possible. But if I had to bet, based upon the momentum, it'd be a bearish bet. Although it's kind of resting at that 40 level right now, intraday, which is always somewhat nerve-wracking. But when we look at the shorter time frames, and still, uh, we just saw that piercing just happen. Literally, that piercing of momentum under the 40 level, and then it kind of galvanized itself. So we're gonna see here. Um, Things are definitely activating as we speak. So yeah. So we're looking at an hour, and we're going to bring this down a little bit. Looking for confirmation right now. That's really what we're looking for. Further confirmation. We're looking at all the markets kind of on the cusp, and looking at one last kind of like bullish push. But we're seeing lower lows here. We're seeing lower highs. It's going to take a strong momentum push to get past these levels, back up past these levels. Um, and I don't really see any equities market intraday, that has a lot of strength. Um, so this level, 121.97 in EurUSD, held. So again, we go back, we look at what's going on with NASDAQ futures. Again, I mean, there's a level of strength here in that it's holding support, or at least attempting to reasonably hold support. Um, I think it's one of those things where there's just a lot of activity in the currency world. With the Brexit decision, you got a lot of pressure on the British pound. I mean, just taking a look here, that's another thing that we would, look to cross confirm. Yeah. Look to cross confirm that. Looks like we're breaking downward here. Okay. So we made like an ABC kind of like push this morning off the lows. But now it looks like that three-way pattern has subsided, and now it's time to jump down. It's time to jump down. So all this it should be a pretty strong wave, really a slaughter once U.S. markets open. So I think it already is kind of confirming itself. Again, our bias today, short term, is that we're looking to reach out to our bearish targets. This is looking like it's going to be at least a 1 to 2 session or more type of movement here. Right now, we're playing this from a currency play. But again, if this was going to be from an equities play, I think that, we look to capitalize off a short-term equities weakness. All right, 15 minutes. CVision Real Estate. Chap signing off. Peace and love.